So, what is it now? You, notice anything new about me? Like, what? My arms, man, I've been working out a lot lately. No, I have not noticed anything new about your arms. Are you serious, man? Oh god, those weeks of pain and suffering for nothing? No. Maybe it's just the coat. I can't see it very well. The coat might be blocking it. Oh. So you want me to take the coat off? No. Okay. What if I take my pants off? No, man, come on. Oh, come on, I gotta take off something. That's it. I'm routing. Alright, this is Synoptic, and I'm doing a semi-live commentary. I recorded this in-game, but I'll do the commentary afterwards, mainly because after the patch, doing commentaries while the video is playing seems to screw up the voice, so I couldn't really do that. So I won't be talking in the game. This is after, about an hour after. My opponent is MORFEO of the GR clan. The map is Alpine Pass. I'm playing as Sweden. And I got a pretty standard build. I got two light dragoons on my far left. You can't really see them now, but this is my advance. My opponent is playing as Russia, and the thing is with this map, he has the high ground. And a unique thing he does is he's using a lot of light cav, which is quite useful after the patch. They have higher morale and they're cheaper, whereas almost every other unit is more expensive. I actually welcome this because light cav in 1.3 and prior they were practically useless, only about 200 or so less, with virtually half the stats. So I got 4 heavy cav, 7 line, 3 rifles, and 1 militia. I've actually become so confident with the meat shield now that I only really need 1, and I've got a utility unit, a light inf, used for whatever. You can see my opponent's rifles, he's got 7. So this isn't going to be a camping fest. This was actually a pretty good battle. Easily the best one so far. I tried to do a live commentary before this one on the same map. My opponent, his name was Shakespeare or something, and he spammed light dragoons and long rifles, which was quite boring. He left the second he started losing. So this is much better, this battle. So I'm using my light dragoons. I don't really care what happens to them. I'm quite careless with them. I'm going to charge them right into the rifles here. And I'm sending that other one to distract the cavalry units to the rear. At the same time, I'm going to mount my assault. I'm going to start off with a pincer, which I rarely ever do. I think I've mentioned it many times how risky it is to do it when your opponent still has cavalry, and we're going to see a retaliation with his cav very early on. So I'm setting up my pincer right now, avoiding the middle. Because he clearly has rifle superiority, I'm going to leave most of my rifles near the middle, I think. And you can probably see me doing a lot of clicking on the units because I have serious walking problems due to lag. Like I'll click and then they'll start walking. Over there you saw a light cav charge into my line. I set a square, but not quick enough. I have created this huge mound with my sacrificial light cav, and you can see my line infantry coming up right now. So they're going to be doing rank fire into all those units where the flashing flag is. And you can see a light dragoon in the background. It's about to start doing fire. And I'm a bit out of my placement here, so I'm going to advance again. And my opponent still has some surprises in those woods. They popped out just then in the background. Okay, and he's pulling out those light cav from that big mound I created. So those are hand mortars in the background. He's got 2 of them, which is a pretty good reason to use Russia. And I'm also doing Alpine Pass because this was the same map as I did my first live commentary. So we pretty much use that to see as a benchmark to see how much better or worse I've become. So my strategy is going to change a fair bit because he adapts to this as well. So I got my cav running amok. I got a heavy cav and my light cav, and you can see some of his units routing. But my dragoons, they only have a morale of 6. 6 is for some reason much worse than 7. 7 is a good number for morale, and when these light dragoons get shaken up, they'll run away. So my pincer is in effect that his light cav is still in the vicinity. I'm going to turn around my units now, you can see. But in their uphill charges, which they're doing now, it's not that effective. Light cav is extremely powerful with downhill charges, killing just as many as heavy cav, which renders a lot of their expensive cavalry useless, such as the winged hussar. Say on a flat map, which doesn't exist because flat maps are boring, they would do more damage, but if you take advantage of slopes, you're going to be just as effective with light cav. You can see my opponent is reallocating. This is not retreating, by the way. A retreat is when you have lost the game and you are just running away annoying the opponent, which I faithfully gave a name for it, i.e. the saggy vagina tactic. So he's going to reallocate back and he's going to start attacking my flanking force. I'm going to hold him up as long as possible while I send up my forces again. I'm going to continue flanking. But eventually, okay, I think he said something like, good play. So in no ways, he's not a bad player. He's accepting what's happening right now. Not rage quitting, unlike the previous battle I did, where the second something happened, it just ran away. So here are 4 squares. He's gonna eventually, yeah, he's coming out now. He's gonna run away with him. He's gonna reform his line near the woods. And I'm gonna realize my folly here. I'm gonna have to pull back my left flank eventually. You can see the hand mortars going off right at the back there. And this is also the first time I've done this narration thing. Normally I do my recording along with the video record. This is kind of awkward. Actually, it's quite easier to record. Much less chance of making a mistake too. It's more calm and not having to move the camera around. Okay, I sent out my general's bodyguard. He's about to kill my bodyguard. I now use a bodyguard now. I never used to, but I'm quite sick of losing it, because I lose them in almost every single battle. There it goes there. Poor guy. No one will miss him. So he sent out, he had Cossack adamant cavalry hidden in the woods this whole time. The second I pushed up my gen, he went straight for it. Very good move. You can actually cause a mass rout with the units we have. This is Sweden versus Russia. Not the best countries to use. He's taking advantage over the mortars. I'm taking slight advantage over the light dragoons, who have a numerical superiority with Sweden. Same with a heavy cav unit and regiment de force, I believe. So we try to send up those same those adamant cavalry at my right flank. I set up squares. I set up 2, and I've also turned around my rifles. Seeming as I caused a retreat, I'm going to finish up what is left here. So he probably assumed I was going to keep attacking, but I'm not. I also have my militia. I sent them before to just occupy the far right, the far left, but I'm just going to leave him there. And he's going to go straight for them. He might as well. There's no real protection, but I did. You saw it just then. I pushed up my line because I saw them coming, and I have all my rifles. Bang! A lot of those men are going to die, but I'm not going to cause a rout. This is the massive turning point of the fight. Because he has his rifles behind his army due to the retreat, but I have set up mine. My rifles have stayed alive, whereas I've routed a lot of his. I have now more rifles than him. And seeming he knows this, he's going to have to mount his assault. And on the far right, I'm going to begin my envelopment. Also, I have 2 heavy cav who I've left out for the majority of the game. I've sent them on the right flank as well. And here is my defense of the left flank. So back there was the militia units, a single militia. And I've sent my light infantry and a rifleman to combat the adamant cav. Notice I also have some units turned around. I thought he would come up and hit me in the rear to commence his attack. That would have been very effective in disruption. But this is definitely the death blow now. So he's advanced. I saw the advance coming and I just forced envelopment onto him. So I got 4 units on 1. You can see it wavering now. And I've set up a downhill charge with my cav. So I had to make sure I had to take the high ground in the end. Doesn't really matter early on in the game, but if you're going to deal a death blow like this, a downhill charge is insane, especially with the heavy cav. So I said before, even a light cav can dish out the damage, but heavy cav downhill is it's far more magnified. And you can see right now the effect. I had a lot of volleys from those overlapping units, and there's a lot of wussies out there. So you're seeing about like 110 of 120 just routing. Still, those adamant cav are still there. So he tried to get my left. I got his right, followed by a huge cav assault. At this point in the game, is very destructive, and I'm just clicking madly. I don't think it's necessary at this point, but anyway. Whenever I see this many routing units, I have to make sure I'm killing them. I always get worried about them coming back. And I also, at the same time, in his assault of my left flank, he sent up his hand mortars, which were coupled with the Adam cavalry. I sent a relatively low numbered unit to engage a melee to stop them from shooting while I commenced my right flank assault. So what we saw there was beginning pincer and finishing off with a heavy right flank maneuver. Good game to GR MORFEO. Thanks for watching.